Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hanging with Howie. Tonight, we have an interesting topic, I think. But first things first, we want to thank our longtime sponsor, DJ Event Planner, and you can find them at www.djeventplanner.com. And then when this video is published, there'll be a host of other sponsors on here who have been with us for quite a while. And please use those links. You'll get a couple of pennies here. It helps us stay on the air. So we'd really appreciate that. And thank you for watching. So, guys, I got something for you. There was something that actually got quite a few posts you may have seen on one of the groups. And this fella did a wedding where everybody went outside and was outside smoking, and he had nobody in the venue for the reception. And he played, nobody danced, and he was like kind of disappointed. But at the end, they told him he did a great job and they paid him, and he went home. But he just felt like downhearted. And I know the feeling because it had happened to me on a number of occasions. One was a Baptist wedding, no dancing at all. Another one was a political event where they would not dance. I was hitting them with bangers, and just, like maybe 12 kids would get up. And then I asked them, I think I may have told this story before, it was politicians, and they said, hey, I'm only going to dance with my wife, holding my wife, and that's all the media is going to get, so they can't do a gotcha on me. Made me wonder, I've had other events too where, they just were not into the dancing, but they would head bop or, kind of like sing along at their chairs. I mean, and is that a big deal? I've always gotten the, hey, great job and a tip. And so I learned that, just for me, my opinion, the dance floor is not the end all and be all. It's great if you can rock a party, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. I almost forgot. I got to introduce my panel here. I'm going to go left to right, and I will welcome Buddy. Thank you for being here, Buddy. We've got Bill with us from Maryland. We have Eric with us as well, the one and only G. Brannon. And of course, we have Matt and my road dog, John Crowley. Alrighty. So, what say you guys? Anybody want to go in any particular order, or just?
I'm going to step out of this one, Howie, because every wedding I've ever done has had a packed dance floor from beginning to end. So I think it's best that I just,
90 minutes.
Because I didn't even understand what you were talking about. Like nobody was dancing. Like
nobody's dancing. Yeah.
No, you know what? I'll make it really short and sweet. I treat every event, every wedding, especially weddings, like I'm a guest, and I'm not a big dancer. Mm-hmm. And I've had probably 20 events where someone has come up and said, "Can I have a card? Here you go. We had a great time." Oh, cool. I'm really glad you guys had fun. Yeah, we didn't dance. You didn't dance.
Right.
No, but it wasn't here. And here's what they've always said. So if you're a new DJ and you want the best advice I can give you, these are the compliments I've always gotten. 1, it wasn't too loud. 2, we really loved your mix, meaning the songs I was playing were pleasant for the overall group. So I wasn't specifically going in one direction. I was kind of all over the map. And 3, they never felt put upon, which is I never say, "Come on, everyone, get up and dance."
Right.
Like, you know what?
The mic.
I can never say as much on a microphone as a good song can say to the crowd.
That's true.
If they're all outside at the bar, which we all know we hate, and by the way, if the bar's outside of a tent or a room, might I suggest a $150 satellite speaker that could play the same music or something different that you can make announcements for the older folks, and they can have a great time.
Sure.
It's called upsell.
Upsell.
But, it happens. You get crowds, especially now in the summer. It's a beautiful night. It's quieter outside. This is why I wonder when I see these clips of like I brought 4 double 18 subs and 6 tops. I'm like, for a 100-person wedding, just focus on your dance floor. Let people talk 10 feet off the floor. And maybe they wouldn't have all run it. I mean, I'm not questioning the DJ. I don't know who they were or are. But if the volume's acceptable, people can go get a drink and come back and sit down and hang out. Granted, if they're all smoking, and I get that, they may want to be outside. But you got to give them, if there's an attraction out of your room, you need to make your room attractive. And that's volume, mix, and just doing what you're supposed to do. Don't feel obligated to threaten them. You got to dance. It's not good luck for the bride and groom. I mean, I've seen all the videos.
Right.
The dancing is how he said. I tell couples this in every meeting. The dancing at a wedding is icing on the cake. Rarely, if ever, has someone attended a wedding and said, man, I can't wait to dance. They've said, I can't wait to eat. I can't wait to drink. I can't wait to see the bride and groom. I can't wait to see my friends. But I've rarely ever heard someone walk in and go, man, I came here just to dance. No, you didn't. Never go out dancing.
This isn't Footloose, right?
I celebrated my 23rd wedding anniversary 2 days ago on Saturday. You know how many times I've said to my wife in those 23 years, hey, honey, let's go out dancing.
0.
We've ended up dancing maybe, but I've never once said to her in 23 years or the 7 before then, 30 years, never once said, you want to go dancing? What is this, the 30s? Am I smoking Chesterfields? Come on, guys. Understand they didn't come for you, so don't take it personally, but use the opportunity to make them remember you, because every other DJ will be too loud, play too specifically, and talk too much. So use those 3 tips and make them remember you, because you didn't push them out of the room. That would be Philip Morris. Back then, that. You can't compete, kids. Come on.
All right. Who's up next? Who's up next?
And that's it for the show. Good night, everybody.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for keeping it short, as Mike said.
Hey, Howie, I'll go next. To build a little bit on what Jay said, I have heard people say they come here, they want to dance, but sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It's always weird. They're like, they come up to me, can I make requests already? I'm like, request sheets over there. They fill the request sheet and like, okay, you request songs, you gotta dance. I say that to them. I don't say it to everyone.
Right.
But we've all run into those weddings that people, they want more of a chill feel, or they want more of a laid back feel, or they want more of a, they're enjoying themselves, just drinking at the bar or go outside smoke, especially if you have a bride and groom who both smoke. It's like a band. Taylor Swift was here this past weekend, and I tweeted today. Taylor Swift walked out of Soldiers Field onto the Lakeshore Drive in downtown Chicago. Everyone in the whole entire stadium would follow her where she'd go, because it's Taylor Swift. Hey, we're going to go follow her. It's kind of the same thing with the bride and groom. They're going to follow where they go. So they go outside to go smoke cigarettes. Most people are going to go outside. So you may play to almost an empty room or a few people. But again, Jay hit the nail right on the head. You play to the room. You play to the people. You play the right stuff. Not too loud, not too quiet. You have that nice, even keel. And you don't have to bring in 50 tons of speakers and a whole truckload of sound equipment like you are Taylor Swift.
All right, who's up next?
I'll throw.
I'll go.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Eric.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought Bill spoke up.
Yeah,
first.
we'll get Bill next. Bill will be around.
Something that I think we're all maybe forgetting, but when you're doing a wedding, all the guests probably haven't seen each other in years. And the only time they ever get together is when there's a special function going on, or a wedding, or an anniversary. So what do? They're going to socialize the whole night. Usually,
Sure.
And it's not like you're not playing great music, like Jay said. They're hearing that music, but they just don't want to dance. They're too busy catching up with relatives, and that's my output on it. But that's it. So we'll go to Bill next.
Go ahead, Bill.
Well, I mean, to what everybody was saying, and like Jay said, imagine a DJ that talks too much. But there are many ways, like Jay said, to make the room appealing for everybody. But to the bigger point being the actual post you saw, I saw the same post, and I see that type of post, almost monthly, if not more regularly than that.
It comes up many times a year. Yeah.
And part of me wants to say, don't let your ego get in front of your performance.
Yes.
But the other part of me wants to say, did you bother asking the couple if they were big dancers?
Right.
Because to what Buddy said, people are going to follow the girl in the white dress. And I've even done gay weddings with two grooms, and I'm sorry, but one of them is the girl in the white dress. Sometimes both of them are, but there's always going to be that situation where there is a leader and everybody's going to follow them. And if that person is not on the dance floor or not in the room, then everybody's going to be where that person is. So do your research, find out, what the couple likes. I've said this before as a story, but I had a couple approach me one time at a bridal show, and they asked me, what would you do if you're DJing a wedding and nobody's dancing? And I said, hope that I'm playing great music.
Yeah. Just playing. Yeah.
Hope that you gave me a good song list to work with. And that was the answer they actually were looking for. And they even confessed, they asked every DJ. And they all said something along the lines of, put on a line dance, put on a sing-along song, do something to get them to dance. And they didn't want that because they weren't even doing a first dance at their wedding.
Right.
They weren't dancers. And
you make a very good point, Bill, because a wedding I had done, I actually had the wedding couple come up to me and go, how come nobody's dancing? I said, you gave me a very strict playlist, and none of you, including your bridal party, are dancing. If you let me do my thing, which is my craft, and you and your bridal party go on the dance floor, I can guarantee you it'll stay full. You need to get the ball rolling, follow the leader. They did that, and the rest of the night was cake after that. And the bride came up, she gave me a hug and a kiss on the cheek, and she was like, thank you. She said, we had no idea. I said, yes, they're going to follow the leader. So you are absolutely correct.
And that's our job,
That's exactly. All right. Well, Matt, what do you got for us? Has this ever happened to you?
Well, yeah. And it was one of my earlier weddings. So I've been at it now for about 15 years and had what I thought was a great mix. I was set up outside. Everybody hung out inside. And I remember at one point walking out and hearing the Cupid shuffle, and there was no Cupid shuffling out there. So it was just playing into the mountains and the hills. So
sometimes it's their fault, Matt. Sometimes it's their fault.
That's true.
I'm just saying.
That's true. That's a good point. And I mean, this crowd admittedly weren't big dancers, and the bride and groom, in this case, are friends of mine, but they're the type that didn't want to be centers of attention. I was trying to watch out for when they arrived to the reception to welcome them in. They just kind of, unbeknownst to me, walked in. Then all of a sudden everybody was clapping. So I didn't even get to announce them in or anything. I didn't do anything wrong. They thought I did a great job still. But it can throw you off sometimes. And I guess that's the thing, too, is don't let it, because sometimes you're still doing exactly what it is they want you there for, the playing good music, keeping some sort of a vibe going, even if it's very much in the background of everything else they have going on.
All right. Well, thank you, Matt. And last but not least,
Road Dog.
Hold on.
Yes, Road Dog.
Road Dog.
It's a drinking game, everybody, if you haven't noticed.
I got my red cup.
I got my spring water. Yeah. I guess to just sum up all of what you said, it's the day's about the couple, not about us. Not to take it personally.
Sure.
It's not a shot against you. And, take the temperature of the room occasionally.
Mhm.
If you open the dance floor after the first dance and everybody's up, you've got a shot at getting them to dance later.
Mhm.
But if you're playing songs that, in any other scenario would work, and they're just talking or wandering off, then maybe they're not at that point yet. Maybe it's not, the sun hasn't gone down, it's too bright. People dance more when it's a little more secluded, a little more private, a little darker. Maybe they haven't, made enough rounds to the bar yet. But you keep at it, but don't get discouraged if it doesn't happen. Because I think if we learned anything when we went into the 2020 lockdown and started doing these small parties, when you had 20 people in front of you and 6 of them are dancing, you're like, that's a good ratio. I get 6 out of 20 dancing with each other.
Right.
The numbers were smaller. People weren't, kind of forgotten that they can let loose and have fun and have a good time. Just be patient with the client.
Mhm.
And I think it was Bill that made the point that was really good. Just to, when you have the conversation with the couple, ask if they're people, are they party people? Or these people want to get up and dance, or am I playing a more laid back vibe to them because some people flew in from Texas or they flew in from Maine, or then you get this group together that's, once in a blue moon gets to see each other. You say, well, that's more important than me playing Uptown Funk.
Exactly.
Reaction. So I get a good video for my webpage. Let the people have a good time and let them do it the way they want to do it. That's my 2 cents on it.
Your idea of a fun time may not be their idea of a fun time.
And
I've just got to
questions. Yeah.
Listening to everybody, I've got to throw this one nugget out there. If you're this DJ and you're anxious about this, one of the things that I do all the time, and it might help you with weddings in the future, I ask if they could possibly send me over the seating chart. I do that to establish, am I behind a table before the dance floor?
Yeah.
But also, more importantly, I want to know if the bar is out in the hallway, is that something that can be changed? And when they say, what do you mean? Is it possible to move the bar into the room? Because then everyone going to the bar, and we've all done this as guests. And I did this with John when I first met him. We were at the event in Atlantic City. Up at the bowling alley, there was a bar outside of the party. We ended up hanging out there because it was quieter. We could talk, get to know each other. Versus the bar in the room, it's louder. You're hanging out. It's a different vibe. And just tell your couples, if the dance floor and the bar aren't in the same room, you're always going to have that challenge of keeping the group together. The venue I used to work that just closed last year, the bar was 10 feet away from my DJ table. My DJ table butted up to the dance floor. If I put on a song that everyone drinking next to me liked, that whole crowd would run 10 feet and be dancing. Now, if the bar had been in front of the house, I would have had an impossibility to keep a group ever dancing.
I had something very similar, Jay, because pot's legal, recreational in Jersey. They actually hired, a pot distributor to come.
Seriously?
They roll joints. And I don't know if anybody's
heard that.
Oh yeah, as long as it's recreational. But the thing of it is it was outside on the patio where he would roll you a spliff and you could toke up.
Whoa.
The good thing about that is, you're not going to, it's the way it's so powerful. You're not going to be smoking all night. You get a little buzz and you're going to come back in. But my suggestion was, hey, look, don't have furniture there. Make them so that they have to come back in.
That's a great idea.
They can go out. Hey, can you roll me a spliff? Yep, no problem. You light up, boom, 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 you share it, and you come back in the room. But that's a thing. That's a thing now. They actually have a pot bar.
I've never heard that. This is the first time, because it's legal in California.
It's absolutely.
We'll have cigar bars, but a lot of outdoor venues are very no pot. Even though half the crowd is smoking, you can smell it all night. You just drop some Grateful Dead and Bob Marley and just kick back and chill.
And we build our own mashed. Yeah, we build our own mashed potatoes around here. Maybe these two ought to hook up.
Maybe.
in like a martini glass. I love those. The martini glass mashed potato bars.
Yes.
Yeah, those are
like
cool.
that, yes.
Yeah.
Never had one, but I've watched tens of weddings do it. And I'm
Oh
like,
my gosh.
that looks awesome.
Yeah.
I got to do that at home some night. What are we having?
Oh,
Mashed potato in a martini glass. Really?
Fancy. Yeah.
There's all your fixins. Enjoy.
I'll have to ask Lori for one of them. She makes great mashed potatoes.
It's one part of the 7-course Irish dinner, 6-pack and a
Well,
mashed potato. So, you know, right there.
Potato martini.
She uses real Irish butter, and it just it's divine.
Yeah. No, that's the only butter to use.
Yeah.
Especially today, the day after the Dot Day Parade, almost 400 years old. Just saying.
Almost 400. 1629. Know your history, people.
Yeah, you people out there like me celebrating 1987. Something happened in California. I live in a town founded in 2008.
I think we're going to put a fork in this, and thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching. And as always, leave a comment when this is published. You know, we get a lot of comments about how
Arbor Day,
much fun it is, and on, and you know. But if you have a topic you would like us to cover, leave it there, and we'll be happy to tackle that for you. So until next time, we'll be back next week, and we'll see you.